So I want to talk about the last book of Jonah, chapter 4. And I want to highlight a few things. One, the fact that, again, we are told that prayer is communication with God. We know this especially because in verse 2, it says that Jonah prayed to the Lord, and I'll read it out loud. Of chapter 4, verse 2. He prayed to the Lord, "Isn't this what I said, Lord, when I was still at home? This is what I tried to forestall by fleeing to Tarshish. I know that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger and abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity." Now, if you pay attention, it said that he prayed to the Lord. Now, when he was praying to God, he wasn't thanking him for anything. He was actually upset. And again, praying is a type of communication with God. Now, should prayer be led by praising God, asking God for things? Yes, 100%. But again, it's communication. You could be crying to God through your own prayers, right? And the final thing I want to address is in the end of the chapter. We're going to start off with verse 7. But at dawn the next day, God provided a worm which devoured the plant, so that it withered. When the sun rose, God provided a scorching east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. He wanted to die and said, "It would be better for me to die than to live." But God said to Jonah, "Is it right for you to be angry about the plant?" "It is," he said, "and I'm so angry I wish I were dead." But the Lord said, "You have been concerned about this plant, though you did not tend to it or make it grow. It sprang up overnight and died overnight. And should I not have concern for the great city of Nineveh, in which there are more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and so many animals?" So again, God is showing his utter compassion, especially to Jonah. Again, because Jonah wanted Nineveh, the great city, to be destroyed because he knew that they were enemies of his people. But God said to him, if you have this much hatred for a plant being killed, how could you not have that same type of hatred, or not hatred, but same type of care, or at least in this case, thought to an entire nation of hundreds of thousands of people being destroyed if you know they can be saved? There's a really big chunk in here that I would love to get into at some point maybe, but again, God ultimately cares for all of us, right? He cares for everything he makes, from the plants to the people he makes. And what he's trying to tell Jonah here is that Jonah did nothing to take care of the people of Nineveh. Nothing. They're at where they're at because God allowed them to be there. The same way that plant was allowed to be there because God allowed it to be there, so that Jonah would be protected from the sun for some time. So it's really up to God who he does and what doesn't want to save. And the amazing thing about God is that he wants to save everybody. There is nobody he does not want to save. Everybody is up for saving. There is no person he does not want to save. So again, that's my message for the day. And there's a lot in this book, but yeah, I'm praying for you guys out there. Amen.